It's beer o'clock on Real Craft Beer. Today we got a can of Whaow Imperial Stout, Bourbon barrel aged. It's by the Stellenbosch Brewing Company and it's coming in at 10% ABV in a 330 milliliter can. This is my first South African craft beer. I think it's my first South African beer. I think it's my first African beer. No, it's not. No, I've had Guinness West Indies Porter, which is from Nigeria. So I've had an African beer, and I've also had I've had a lager from Ghana. I think I've had a lager from Ghana. So, okay, this might be my third or fourth African beer, but I'm excited. I'm excited because it's very hard to come by such beers. There's the flag of South Africa. There's a big warning sign down the side of the can. Alcohol abuse is dangerous to your health. Maybe that's a government kind of thing that they have to say. Alcohol abuse is dangerous to your health. Let's get it out into a glass, see what we get. Thank you. Whoa, thank you very, very, very much to the South African sender for sending me this beer. Bourbon barrel aged Imperial Stout in a can. It's creating a, let's give it a whirl just in case there's any bits and pieces in the bottom of the can. It's created a 3-finger tan coloured head. It most certainly is a jet black beer in the glass. It looks like an Imperial Stout. There's no light bleeding through that glass of beer at all. Jet black. Lovely tan coloured head. I wonder if the brewers might be kind of, I don't know, maybe Belgian, maybe Norwegian or Swedish or something. That looks incredible. That looks like this company really knows what they're doing. And I'm pretty sure the South Africans, they know what they're doing when it comes to beer. It's just, I'm a million miles away. Literally a million miles away. So I don't know the scene. I don't know the craft beer scene in South Africa. I don't know how big it is. I don't know how many different breweries there are. So this is alien to me. But I'm really excited. I'm really excited to get into this beer. So, without further ado, let's get the aroma on this barrel-aged Imperial Stout. Oh, really vinous. A really vinous Imperial Stout. Like plums and figs and prunes. Chocolate and coffee and caramel from the roasted malt. So they've obviously hopped it quite well to get that kind of vinous aroma through into my nostrils. I'm going to give a shout out. I'm going to give a shout out to Brian Mujati. Do we all know Brian Mujati? I'm sure he played for South Africa in the rugby. Brian and myself, fellow beer lovers. Brian moved to the UK from South Africa. Famous rugby player here in the UK. I think he lives in Northampton now, in that kind of area. Massively into his beer. Has his own YouTube channel. Check him out, Brian Mujati. And he sent me a bottle of West Veteran 12 of all beers, which was amazing. So if you're watching, Brian, cheers to you. My first South African beer. Oh. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be as honest as I possibly can. I'm as honest as I possibly can in any situation, but I was worried. When I got the aroma of the beer, And I got so much kind of vinous qualities coming through, plums and figs and prunes. I've had stouts and porters before, regular stouts and porters and imperial porters and imperial stouts, that the vinous qualities have just overtaken everything else, and it just dominates the flavour of the beer. My biggest concern when I got my nose into this beer was it was just so vinous and plum and fig and prune like that I wasn't going to get anything else. I couldn't have been more wrong. My fears have gone away. It's got a fantastic mouthfeel. It must have been brewed with either lactose or oats. It's creamy and dense. There's a little bit of sweet chocolate, a little bit of sweet caramel, dark chocolate, bitterness coming through, and a little bit of coffee. And then that's not even attempting to speak about the bourbon barrel-agedness about this beer yet. We'll get into all of that in a moment. We'll find out what barrels it is. It's really good. It's really good. Stone the Crows. Stone the Crows. There's enough stout character to balance off that big vinous plums, figs, prunes. There's enough chocolate, coffee, caramel, roasted malts coming through to balance off the amount of hops that they've added to this beer. Probably did a lot of dry hopping on the beer. Let's have a look. So, named after the Fishbone Beer Works brewer's trademark Whaow. Whoa Imperial Stout is seriously wow. This bourbon barrel aged 10% ABV beauty, infused with almond coffee and vanilla, will make you want to boogie like nobody's watching. Love it. So crack this can, admire, sniff and savour, and allow it to whoa your taste buds. Stelli's Beer, Fishbone Beer Works, follow the squirrel, hashtag. And whoa, hashtag. Bruce Collins is the brewery founder. This beer is terrific. It's just absolutely wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful example of an imperial stout. Bourbon barrel aged, so it's going to be whiskey, a bourbon whiskey barrel. They kind of said it on the label. And now they mention it, because it's very difficult to pick up all of the flavours in the beer. Yeah, there's most definitely a touch of vanilla in the beer. The Stellenbosch Brewing Company. This is fantastic. I'm going to rate it. I like that beer enough to give it a Stone the Crows 9 out of 10. So 9 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.